Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there. It's summertime. You know what that means.
Staying inside and doing absolutely nothing at all whatsoever. Hey everyone, it's me, and welcome back. Although summer may be coming to a close, that doesn't mean that gaming has to end. Today I want to talk about one of the most summer-oriented games that I've ever played. Super Mario Sunshine for the Nintendo GameCube. This game has been with me through it all. I played it back in middle school at a friend's house, and then I fell in love with the game. And ever since, I knew that I had to own it. So whenever I saw it in store one day, I was like, yes, I have to purchase this now. And I did. And much like Wind Waker, it's a game that I love thoroughly. The basic premise of the game is that Mario travels to this tropical getaway on vacation. And when he arrives, there's this
icky paint-like goo
that's just all around the island. And it was apparently created by Mario himself. And after a trial happens, Mario gets convicted of larceny and vandalism, and he's in jail.
This appears to be quite a predicament, Mario.
And he's required to clean the entire island before he can leave. Now, there's been many videos about the legal status of that case, just tearing it apart, but as I'm not a lawyer or law person, I can't really accurately say anything about that other than the stereotypical Phoenix Wright objection. But the game itself is super fun. Much like Wind Waker, it has a very colorful atmosphere, and I think that's another reason why I enjoy it so much. The coloration of the game is very similar to Wind Waker's in that bright and vibrant colors rule the scene, given that it's on a tropical island. And there's so many references to it being an island. The coconuts, bananas, all the different fruits that are on there, the different attractions, and just overall all the different things that would make an island an island. I think the world itself of Isle Delfino is probably one of the best ideas of a Mario world overall. Just the fact that you can have a map and see where everything is laid out just like that. Like on the map, you can see where all the locations are in accordance to one another, and as you're even in the certain areas, you can see other areas. Like you can see Rico Harbor from Bianco Hills, you can see Corona Mountain from everywhere, I think. All of them are interconnected that way. And that's something that's not done very often in Mario games. Just a consistency of seeing other worlds. I think that the game itself is super neat, just with that whole concept of it being an island, a super small getaway island that people travel to very often. The story is a Mario story, so Mario has to get stars, or shines in this case, and save Princess Peach, as always. But this time, the main antagonist isn't Bowser at the beginning, but instead it's his son, Bowser Jr., who disguises himself as Mario in the Shadow Mario, the person who defaced the Isle Delfino and framed Mario for defacing and vandalizing. And that's a very interesting thing itself, just how Bowser Jr. could do that, and people thought it was a real. Peach is actually with you through about half the game until you get to about Pinna Park when she gets kidnapped. And from then on, you're like, your main goal is to save Peach. Originally, your main goal was to just clean up the island and make sure that everything got back to the way it was. And I think that's a better progression than the usual Mario formula of Peach gets kidnapped at the beginning, and at the end of the game you save her. It doesn't change much thematically, but just the idea of Peach not being with you throughout has changed. Each world is its own unique area. They all have a certain vibe to them that they portray. Like Bianco Hills and Pianta Village are both kind of little cities within the island. Not as large as Delfino Square is, but still larger cities where people live. Noki Bay and Gelato Beach are both kind of touristy locations that are also very nature focused, in that Noki Bay you get to see the waterfall and all the historical architecture of the Nokis and their wall paintings and all that sort of stuff. In Gelato Beach you have like the cabana that you do the watermelon festival. You do the watermelon festival in, and people go there to like relax and get a little tropical feel to things. With Pinna Park, it's an amusement park, so people would go there for like enjoyment, just like Six Flags or a water park or any other attraction like that. And then we have Rico Harbor, where it's like all the shipments come in, as a harbor would indicate, and everything is like handled there and shipped out. You get to explore the sewer system a little bit, and just that area is very industry focused. Serena Beach is where the hotel is, and that's where visitors would stay, and everything just kind of makes sense to be a tropical island. Like, you'll head in at the airstrip that you come in at the beginning of the game, and a boat there will take you to Delfino Square, and then you can explore that area a little bit, and whenever it's time to go to bed, if you're a tourist that is, you'd go to Serena Beach to just stay in the hotel, and maybe do a little bit of gambling at the casino in the basement. And you can explore all the different areas of the island. Like one day you could go visit Noki Bay to learn about the history of the island. You could go to Pianta Village to see kind of the remoteness of the culture of Isle Delfino. And you could go to Bianco Hills to learn more about the cultures of there as well. Go to Rico Harbor to see industry, Pinna Park for a lot of entertainment, and Gelato Beach for just relaxing. And that's something that's really cool about the game, with their whole interconnectedness. And again, just like with Wind Waker, the music of Super Mario Sunshine is fantastic. The song that most people know being the Delfino Square theme. The that song is just a very fantastic world map theme to listen to if you're ever feeling down. Just the whole upbeatedness, it makes you feel like you're on an island. And each area does that well. Like, music will complement that very well. Like Bianco Hills, that song is a very upbeat and cheerful song that makes you think, oh, I'm ready to explore and just learn a little bit about this area. Rico Harbor, you can tell that that's a very industry-focused area through the instrumentation and just the feel of the song. And with Gelato Beach, you can tell that's kind of a more relaxed area, as the melodies are kind of lowered in focus when compared to the other two songs of the worlds. And Serena Beach is even more calm than that, at least the outside is, when it's just like this almost ambiance focused song, just a very relaxed evening time song right on the beach side. And then the hotel song, changing with you're in the casino or not, it also matches the feel. And Pinna Park, the very upbeatedness and very static vibe of the song. And then Pianta Village and Noki Bay also have very good songs to complement their environments. And then there's Corona Mountain, which it accurately portrays how difficult it is. You can just tell by listening to the song that it's going to be a difficult area to go in, and you'd be right. Speaking of Corona Mountain, it's a very hard boss world for me. I'm not the world's expert on video games, but lava being an insta-death and having the boat as the final mechanic you do, it's just kind of very difficult to get used to it. I know that whenever I play, I still have issues on the boat traveling, and with that, the lily pad shine. But that's something else that's super unique about the game. In most Mario games, at least prior to Super Mario Sunshine release in like 2002, I think, most stars in the game were pretty easy overall. Like, yes, in 64 you had some difficult stars, but overall the difficulty curve was kind of steady, a steady incline, and it wasn't that hard overall. Whereas in Sunshine, all the stages themselves might not be hard, but then the final world is a lot harder than the others. Super Mario Sunshine's main mechanic was that of FLUDD, the Flash Liquidizing Ultra Dousing device, and I think that I think that it's a super awesome tool to use. It actually has voice lines, and I will never forget the first time I beat the game and it said the line,
Mario, was I, assist,
as a nod to what he said earlier at the very beginning of the game, actually, when he said,
I hope to be of assistance.
And I think that consistency with FLUDD is very cool, that FLUDD was like, I hope I assisted you, because that's what I'm here for. And going further with FLUDD, I will never forget the line he says whenever Bowser Jr. kidnapped Peach with,
But did the perpetrator get away?
and that's just, all of FLUDD's lines kind of stick in my memory, probably due to nostalgia of it. But it's just a super fun beach time game, and with school almost starting for a lot of people, I thought that it'd be fun to talk about this game. And yeah.
Well, that's about all the time I have. You can catch me reading Que Dice.